Hello everybody and welcome to the Sunday race review for the 2020 Spanish Grand Prix. And as usual, we'll give you a quick report roundup of what happened in the race itself before going on to predicting next weekend's races. Of course, we get a week off, then we're back in action with the Belgium Grand Prix. But what a Spanish Grand Prix it was. Yes, okay, not much going on, but it still was a thrill to commentate on and a thrill to watch as well. Also, Mercedes, well, led the way, didn't he? Lewis Hamilton winning again here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Absolute dominant, really, if you think about it, because Mercedes have won here since 2017 in a row. Of course, 2016 was the Max Verstappen incident as well, but they've dominated in pole positions as well since 2013. So it was a great race for him. Hamilton wins the race then. Verstappen got second place. Again, the tyres were the talking point going forward, and that is another thing to look out for. We were worried again about the tyres this weekend, and it came to fruition that they just couldn't get it right, Mercedes, but they had to try quickly, didn't they, and snap on strategies going throughout the race. Verstappen did very well indeed. Valtteri Bottas completes the top three, as you can see here. Moving forward as well, Lance Stroll 4th and Sergio Perez 5th. Important for Stroll to beat out Sergio Perez in terms of racing performance after Perez's comeback after fighting COVID-19. It's important that Stroll maintained his dominance within that team. Carlos Sainz 6th. Sebastian Vettel did an amazing job fighting from 11th to 7th. He did brilliantly. He could have done better there in qualifying trim. 8th for Albon, 9th for Gasly, and Lando Norris rounds out the top 10 and the final point scoring position. That was the crucial part. Dropping down, Ricciardo, Kvyat, Ocon, Raikkonen, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Russell, Latifi and Grosjean the finishers. Charles Leclerc DNF, spinning at the last corner, then having to retire. Did 3 laps without his seatbelts on. How the stewards find that that's legal, I do not know, but had to pull in as well and retire the car eventually. Grosjean, Latifi were 2 laps down. Everybody was a lap down, bar the top 3. Hamilton lapped the entire field. Verstappen lapped numerous times as well, but because he kept changing the pit stop strategies, it affected the results. Fastest lap of the day, Valtteri Bottas with a 1:18.183. The fastest pit stop went to Red Bull at 1.9 seconds when they changed Verstappen's tyres. The driver of the day by fan vote was Sebastian Vettel. Let's give you the full rundown then, just one more time. It was Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, Stroll, Perez, Sainz, Vettel, Albon, Gasly and Norris the top 10. Ricciardo, Kvyat, Ocon, Raikkonen, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Russell, Latifi and Grosjean, and out of the race was Charles Leclerc. In terms of the Drivers' Championship now, well, this takes a different route going forward. Lewis Hamilton now leads on 132 points. Second place is now Max Verstappen on 95. Valtteri Bottas in third place on 89 points. Charles Leclerc, of course, no points scored here today, remains on 45. He's now 5 clear of Lance Stroll, who goes into 5th place. Alexander Albon in 6th on the same amount of points as Stroll. 1 point back, 39 points for Lando Norris. He needs to get back into the swing of things at the Belgian Grand Prix. Sergio Perez 8th on 32 points. Carlos Sainz 9th on 23. Daniel Ricciardo rounding out the top 10 on 20 points. 16 points each for Sebastian Vettel and Esteban Ocon in 11th and 12th. 14 points for Pierre Gasly. 6 still on the board for Nico Hülkenberg, unlikely to return in 2020, but he's the standby driver, we're being told by a number of the teams now. Antonio Giovinazzi has 2, the same as Danny Kvyat. 1 point on the board for Kevin Magnussen, and still no points for Kimi Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi, George Russell, or for Romain Grosjean. In terms of the Constructors' Championships then, Mercedes lead the way, 221 points to Red Bull on 135. Racing Point have 63, 1 point clear of McLaren on 62. They are 1 point clear Ferrari on 61. The battle to get into the top 3 seems to be between now Racing Point, McLaren and Ferrari. Coming into that drift is Renault, but they're on 36 points. They're sort of in no man's land at the moment, but we've still got 11 races to go. If we're rumoured to be that we've got the 17 race calendar, as rumours circulating this weekend that we could be going to Turkey, Jerez, and then Bahrain and Abu Dhabi, as rumours of a second Bahrain race seems to be falling down in the order. But we'll have more of that hopefully in the next 2 weeks when we expect the calendar to be fully announced. Alfa Tauri on 16 points. Alfa Romeo have 2 points. points. 1 point for Haas, still no points on the board for Williams as well. So, moving on to the next race, we now go on a 2-week break before the Belgian Grand Prix, the Italian Grand Prix and the Tuscan Grand Prix form our second head of triple headers for 2020. It looks to be an exciting one, but who's going to take dominance? Well, Spa bites, and when it bites, it really bites hard. So it's going to be a track that Mercedes might not be performing well at. It could go Red Bull's way. However, we do go there with heavy hearts, as we remember just 1 year ago the tragic accident of Anton Hubert in the Formula 2 race as well. So we'll be reflecting on that as well as all the drivers and teams return to Spa. Charles Leclerc, I believe, says it's going to be very difficult for him to go back. But we must race on and remember the tragedy that's in the past. We've worked towards a safer future, but I think there's a nice tribute planned for Anton Hubert, which is very, very nice. Moving on then, it's going to be predicted a wet race already. That's the long range forecast. So let's just see how that plays out. But it should be a good one. We'll be back then with the Grand Review podcast on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock for this race as well. And then a full team will be back for the Belgian Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time at the end of August. Enjoy 2 weeks off from Formula 1. Enjoy your little summer break the teams get. And when we return, action will be at Belgium. From us all here, though, thank you for joining us this weekend. It's bye for now.